the cabinet. Instagram user Noah Nafasian made a choice that most paranormal investigators would warn people never to make. He bought a replica of the infamous Annabelle doll. For anyone who doesn't know the story, the real Annabelle is a supposedly possessed rag doll kept locked inside a glass case at the Warrens' occult museum. Even the replicas have a creepy reputation for drawing in real paranormal activity. Noah keeps his replica on display in a glass cabinet in his kitchen, and ever since he brought it home, he says strange things have been happening. Then, on October 5th, his security camera caught something that seems to back up his claims. In the footage, the cabinet door suddenly swings open by itself. The Annabelle replica is sitting inside, facing outward as if it's watching the room. Noah walks in, not realizing the door is open at first. As he approaches to close it, objects on the nearby table start moving. Even though nothing is touching them, the moment he realizes something is happening right in front of him, he runs out of the kitchen. The doll, however, stays exactly where it is, still, silent, but unsettlingly present. Paranormal experts have warned for years that spirit doll replicas can act like invitations, giving entities something physical to latch onto. By bringing an Annabelle replica into his home, Noah may have unintentionally opened the door for something to attach itself. Mirror proof. A man staying at a hotel for a work conference experiences something his coworkers refuse to believe. He's assigned to room 237, and on his very first night, he wakes up around 3 in the morning to see a pale woman sitting at the edge of his bed. She doesn't move. She just stares at him with empty, hollow eyes. He's frozen in fear, unable to speak or even breathe properly, until she slowly fades back into the darkness. The next morning, he tells his colleagues what happened, but they brush it off as a nightmare or sleep paralysis. Still shaken, he returns to room 237 that evening, and the same heavy feeling of dread settles over him. Determined to prove he isn't losing his mind, he takes out his phone and starts recording.
Guys, arrived in the hotel of Lucknow.
As his camera pans past the mirror, something appears in the reflection. A pale figure, clearly visible. Just seconds earlier, no one was standing where that figure now shows up. The footage proves his coworkers wrong. He wasn't hallucinating. The hotel has never publicly acknowledged any hauntings in room 237, but the staff know exactly what happens there. That pale woman has been sitting at the edge of that bed for years, quietly waiting for guests who don't realize they're not alone, street stalker. Some towns carry secrets that only come alive after dark. This footage was recorded by a man standing on his balcony in a town that had been living in fear for months. For weeks, residents had reported strange, unsettling noises echoing through the neighborhood late at night. Sounds with no clear source, drifting through the streets and keeping families awake. Children were terrified. Adults were on edge. Concerned neighbors formed search groups, combing through streets, alleyways, and wooded areas, desperate for answers. But every search ended the same way. Nothing found, no explanations, and more questions than before. Many began to believe that something sinister was moving through their town, something that only revealed itself when the lights went out. But on this particular night, one resident finally caught on camera what everyone had only sensed. What makes the footage especially terrifying is the way the figure stands, as if it has been waiting there, watching the neighborhood for far longer than anyone realized. The entity shows no fear of being seen. In fact, it almost seems comfortable, as though it has grown bold during its nightly surveillance. This recording became the first solid proof of what had been haunting the town for months. The presence that residents had whispered about, feared, and felt but never seen, was real, and it had been roaming their streets the entire time. Highway ghost. This grainy black and white footage comes from a truck's onboard camera, recorded at exactly 3 a.m. on one of the most dangerous stretches of highway in the region. Months earlier, the driver who normally covered this route had been killed in a tragic accident on this very road. Since then, no one had driven the shift until this night. Suddenly, behind the new driver, something flickers into view. A translucent figure, a man, materializes in the cab for a brief moment before fading away as if he was never there at all. The driver doesn't react. He doesn't look back. He has no idea anything is happening. But when the company later reviewed the footage, they made a chilling realization. The ghostly face captured in the video was unmistakably that of the previous driver, the man who died on the route. It appears he had come back to finish the journey he never got to complete. Creepy. Garage watcher. It was a bright, calm, ordinary day. Nothing seemed out of place until he suddenly felt a strange sense that something was wrong. Trusting his instincts, he pulled out his phone and began recording. Inside the garage, his car sat quietly, unmoving. But when he reviewed the footage, something unexpected appeared. As he focused on the car, his heart dropped. A dark shadow was sitting inside. Its shape looked disturbingly similar to a human head, staring out from the seat in complete silence. But the real question is, who or what was it? If this gave you chills, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more terrifying encounters.